Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Word Meal for today. It's such a pleasure having you all here tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful and an amazing day. Welcome to today's Bible study. Today we'll be studying Numbers chapter 22. Before we go ahead, let's say a prayer. Our dearly beloved Father in heaven, we come before you tonight with gratitude in our hearts. We thank you for your tender mercies. We thank you for your loving kindness. We thank you even for the privilege which you've given to us to study your word freely. We ask for your spirit to be present as we study, that your spirit will carry your word deep into our hearts and give us the grace even to apply your words to our lives. We ask all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Hi, welcome to all who have joined the live. It's great having you all here tonight. So today we'll be studying Numbers chapter 22 from verse 1 to 20, and we'll conclude this chapter tomorrow. So I'll take the reading, Numbers 22, 1 to 20. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side Jordan by Jericho. And Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was so afraid of the people, because they were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam the son of Beor to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessest is blessed, and he whom thou cursest is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came unto Balaam, and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And God came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covereth the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. And God said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, Get you into your land, for the Lord refuseth to give me leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak, and said, Balaam refuseth to come with us. And Balak sent yet again princes, more and more honorable than they. And Balak sent yet again princes more, and more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam, and said to him, Thus said Balak the son of Zippor, Let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me. For I will promote thee unto very great honor, and I will do whatsoever thou sayest. And I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me. Come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. And Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God, to do less or more. Now therefore I pray you, tarry ye also here this night, that I may know what the Lord will say unto me more. And God came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, If the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do. May the Lord bless his reading in Jesus' name. Welcome to all who have joined the live. It's a great pleasure having you all here tonight. One second, please. So, Numbers chapter 22. In the last chapter we read, we saw how the Israelites defeated um, two kings, okay, on their way to Canaan, the promised land. They are defeated two heathen kings, two Amorite kings, and they had taken over their cities and all of that. So now, the king of Balak, he heard about all that the Israelites had done to those kings and the nations around him, and he was afraid. He was afraid that they were going to come and do the same to his nation. And so, now in verse 1, we're told that the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab. So first of all, they set forward. They moved forward. They continued moving. They continued on their journey. Remember, on two occasions in chapter 21, we saw how they took over certain cities. After they had killed the king, they took over the cities. They killed the people and took over the cities. However, they did not remain there. Despite the fact that they had gained possession of those cities, that was not their promised land. And so they moved forward. They continued on their journey. You know, there would have been the temptation to just remain there. After all, they've gotten possession of a city or cities. You know, let's just remain here. Let's, make a civilization here. Let's start our lives here. But they continued on their journey because there was somewhere God had promised them, and they had to get there. And until they got there, they were not going to settle for less. So they moved forward. They left that pseudo promised land, that place that seemed like it would be a good place for them to remain. They left, they moved. We're told that they set forward. And then when they got to the plains of Moab, they pitched there. And of course, it was in the plains of Moab they were when Balak, the king of Moab, saw them. Now he had already heard all that they had done to the Amorites, and now they were pitched in just in the plains of Moab. So he was afraid. He was afraid, and we're told that he was afraid of them because they were many. He was afraid of them because they were many. Now, you see the thing. God is really wise. He in most warfare, the first and most potent weapon is fear. Fear. Okay. In most weapons, in fact, in every warfare, the first and most potent weapon is fear. And that's why you see when when two countries, in modern times, for example, when two countries begin to talk about war, or one country begins to, challenge the other, they might just the challenged country may just begin to carry out some demonstrations, and perhaps the two countries could begin to carry out demonstrations to show that they're equal to the task, to strike fear in the hearts of their enemy, so that the enemy will back down. Now, the Lord gave the Israelites that weapon. In fact, they had, first of all, their number. And we're told that it was because of their number that Balak was afraid of them. Now, God had made the lineage of Abraham great. They numbered in their thousands. So they were a whole lot. They were a whole lot. So when Balak saw this crowd, this host, he was afraid. So God gave them that weapon of number. He gave them that number so that wherever they pass, they will strike fear in the hearts of their enemies. And mind you, it was not just about their number, but remember, the Ark of the Covenant was with them in their midst. So God was moving with them, moving in their midst. So they struck terror to the hearts of their enemies. Okay. So when the Lord is with you, your enemies become afraid of you. Yes. When God is with you, your enemies become afraid of you for different reasons in different contexts. Sometimes it might be because they've tried several times to bring you down, but they just cannot. Other times it might be that whenever they try to bring you down, God rises up and fights for you. So they see you and they are scared and they're wondering, why can't we get this person? Then they begin to be scared of you, and it could be because God has placed you in a position or a place where you are their superior. You basically hold their destinies in your hands. So in different contexts, it could manifest in different contexts. But when God is with you, one thing that happens is your enemies become scared, become afraid of you. So the Moab was afraid of Israel. And we're told that Moab they were not just afraid, but distressed. They were afraid and they were distressed because of the children of Israel. And then Moab called a neighboring nation, Midian, for a meeting. And they were like, are you all just sitting and watching? This company will lick up all that is around us as the ox licks up the grass of the field. In other words, you're all seated, you're watching. These people, this host, will wipe out everybody, including us, like the ox eats grass. And if I don't know what they call a group of oxen, but if a group of oxen, enter into a field and begin to eat grass, within a short time, the grass of the field will be gone. Okay. So Balak, we're told specifically in verse 4 that Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at that time. Now, you remember it was still in verse 4 that they said that the Israelites were going to lick up all their surrounding nations like the ox licks up grass. It's quite unfortunate that the strangers seemed to have a better understanding of the capacity of the God of Israel, better than the Israelites themselves did. So the Israelites themselves were not even aware that God was with them, like that, and they were going to be able to defeat their enemies. But these pagan nations were aware of the strength and the might of their God. So it was the Israelites who were taking God for granted. The pagan nations did not. They knew that the God backing these people is a mighty God, is a strong God. They knew. And so we're told in verse 5 that Balak, the king of Moab, did something. He said he sent messengers unto Balaam. Balaam was we'll call him a diviner or a prophet. It's hard to place. But he was someone who had prophetic abilities. And so Balak sent messengers to this Balaam. And they gave the report. There's these people, they've come out of Egypt, they cover the face of the earth, and they are just, where they've pitched is just, very close to me, my borders. So come and curse them, because they are too mighty for me, they are too strong for me. I cannot defeat them. So come and curse them for me, so that perhaps when you've cursed them, I'll be able to defeat them and drive them out of my land. Because I know that he whom you curse is cursed, and he whom you bless is blessed. This was the message that Balaam sent to Balak. Now, I want to point out something quickly. The person who is your leader matters a lot. How do I say this now? The person who oversees you, who is your head, matters a lot. Now, there were other nations, surrounding nations, other kings who sat back and watched their cities, their citizens, and even they themselves destroyed. But Balak was not one of those kings. He rose up and he was proactive. He tried his best to find a way to save his people. Now, mind you, Balak is not the protagonist of this story at all. The Israelites are. So Balak is like the antagonist of the story, actually. But I think there is something that we can learn from here about leadership. The person who is your head matters. Yes, Balak was in the context we're reading it, because of course we're supporting the Israelites, so he's the antagonist. But then if you look at it from his own perspective, was he really the antagonist? Because he was only trying to protect his people, protect his land. These people had come out of Egypt, and they were coming and killing the other kings and taking the land of these people. So Balak could not refuse to sit back and watch that happen to his own kingdom, which of course is a commendable thing to do, if not that it was the Israelites that were involved here. Otherwise, it's a commendable thing. He was a king who understood what it means to be responsible for the safety and the lives of people. He did not sit back and watch. He took steps, was proactive, he took action, he sought help. The person who leads you matters. The person who is your head matters a lot. Now, when you encounter a problem, don't sit and fold your hands. Take the necessary steps to overcome it. We still learn this from the life of Balak. When you encounter a problem, rather than sit and whine and complain and murmur about it, take the necessary steps to eradicate that problem. Balak did just that. He encountered a problem, the Israelites. He didn't sit back and, he took the necessary steps to help him overcome that problem. And we're told in verses 7 and 8 that the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came to Balaam. And Balaam told them to sleep there, to spend the night there, so that he can inquire of God on the matter, and when God speaks to him, he will let them know. Now, first of all, in verse 7, we're told that these people came with the rewards of divination. In other words, they came with money and perhaps some other things to basically use to pay this man, these prophets, to come and do their bidding. So they came with something, with money, with things to pay this prophet to come do their bidding. And it's quite unfortunate that Balaam was moved by the money and the things which they brought. He wanted them, he desired them, and that was why he told them, wait here, sleep, spend the night, and I'll hear from God and tell you. But his heart was already set on those things. When we're studying the book of Revelation, the Lord spoke about Balaam. Was it Revelation or somewhere in the New Testament? Talked about the spirit of Balaam. Spirit of Balaam entered the church. That desire for money, for filthy lucre, that act, that practice of exchanging, how do I put it now, of selling your gifts, of trying to profit off of the spiritual gifts that God has given to you, making people to pay money for a gift that God gave to you freely. So Balaam's heart was already set on those things. And then we're told that God came to Balaam at night in a dream and asked, okay, didn't specify that in a dream, so it could have been a physical appearance, a live appearance. So God asked Balaam, who are these men with thee? Most of the time when God asks that, when God asks questions like that, questions that the answer is obvious, he obviously knows the answer to, is when you have done or you're in the process of doing something wrong. And God is trying to call you back to order. He's trying to help you work it out yourself. Go back in the right track. Just the way he, after Adam ate the fruit, and then God came, he asked Adam, what have you done? What have you done? Why are you hiding? Have you eaten the fruit I asked you not to eat? So you see, when God asks questions like that, he knows the answer already, but he wants you to convict yourself. And he asked Balaam, who are these men with you? Balaam said, Balak, son of Zippor, sent them to me. Was saying that there's these people who've come out from Egypt, blah blah blah. He wants me to curse them so that it will be easy for him to overcome them and drive them out of the land. And God told him in verse 12, he said, Thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. So don't go with them. You will not curse those people because they are blessed. Remember, he had told Abraham, he said, anyone who blesses you is blessed. Anyone who curses you is cursed. So if Balaam had even cursed them, if Balaam had been able to curse them, what he would have done would have been to get a curse upon himself. Because whosoever blesses you is blessed. Whosoever curses you is cursed. Okay. So we see that there are some people who are uncursable. There are some people you cannot curse. You cannot place a curse on. And the Bible says that a curse causeless cannot stand. A curse causeless cannot stand. So let us also make sure that, yes, we're uncursable. We should be uncursable, but let us also ensure that that curse is not does not have a legitimate reason to manifest in your life. Ensure that you are innocent. Ensure that you are innocent. Because if you are guilty, then you have opened the door for that curse to come in and manifest in your life. Pray that the Lord will help us. So God told Balaam, don't go with them. They are blessed, you cannot curse them. And in the morning, Balaam rose up and he told the princes of Balak to go back to their land. To go back to their land. Because the Lord has not allowed him to follow them. The Lord does not allow him, Balaam, to follow the princes of Moab and Midian. And then we're told that the princes, they of course, they took their leave, went to Balak and gave the report. And they went to Balak and said, Balaam has refused to come with us and all of that. And we're told that Balak sent yet again princes more and more honorable than they. So what now happened was Balak, when the princes came and gave him the report that Balaam refused to follow them, Balak now sent more princes, and these ones were more honorable, as the Bible uses it. They were more flamboyant. They looked more regal than the other set that came. Perhaps they were of higher rank and status too in the society. And Balak promised that he would promote Balaam unto very great honor, and whatever Balaam asks of him, he will do. He will give. All he needed was for Balaam to curse the people. And in verse 18. In verse 18, Balaam tells them, and Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. This was Balaam telling them now. Even if Balak gives me a house full of gold. I cannot go beyond or below what God has told me. So even if heaven wants to fall, it is God I know. It is God's prophet I am. And you see, the thing is, a prophet must die to the flesh. That is just the truth. A prophet must die to the flesh, to the world. Okay. Because a prophet that is not dead to the world will betray the God who called him. A prophet who is not dead to the world will betray God. Will betray God. Now, Balaam, now instead of leaving it there and telling these men, I cannot do beyond what God has asked me to do, to say, so go back. Instead of telling them, to go back, ensuring that they went back, what did he do? He told them, okay, but I cannot, even if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond what the Lord has said, but to spend the night. Let me ask God again. Maybe I didn't hear I didn't hear it well the first time. And and then the Lord told him in verse 20, the Lord came to him at night and told him, if the men come to call you, rise up and go with them. Okay, but it is what I put in your mouth that you will say. It is how I direct you that you would. It is what I direct you to do that you would do. You see, this is a danger of not being satisfied with God's. There's something called the perfect will of God and the permissive will of God. The perfect will of God is what He says to you first. That thing He wants you to do. That thing that is His will for you. Okay. The permissive will of God is the one that He is not His will for you, but He permits it, maybe because due to your actions or so. You, how do I put this now? Maybe due to your actions, or perhaps you have wearied Him with your pleadings because you're not comfortable with His will, His perfect will for you. Or perhaps due to your actions, you are no longer aligned with His perfect will. You are no longer aligned with His perfect will. So, Balaam made a grave mistake. A grave mistake. When the Lord speaks, it is safer God's first answer. God means what He says first. Or God means what He says, what He first says. What God first says, He means it. So when God tells you, this is what you should do, you hear Him, you know His voice, you know how He communicates to you, or maybe He even came Himself, or in a vision, or whatever, in a dream. And then you know very well that God has spoken, and this is what He wants, this is what He has said. Why go back to Him again to ask? Why? Especially in this case where it was because he was hoping that the Lord would permit him to collect those. He really wanted those things, the filthy lucre, as the Bible calls it. He really wanted those things, those gifts. So it is risky, very, very risky. It is very, very risky to not trust God, to try to play Him, try to be smart with Him. You heard Him, but you want to pretend like you didn't hear very well, so let Him repeat it again. What God says first, He means. what he says last, he means. There's nothing that comes out of God's mouth that he does not mean. He's not a man that he should lie. So when he has said something to you, that is it. That is it. But Balaam was so interested in those things. So interested in those things. Um. So tomorrow we'll conclude this chapter. It's about 40 something verses long. So tomorrow we still have a few 20 something verses to complete it. I pray that the Lord will help us to steward the gifts which He has given to us. I don't know what the gift might be. You might be a prophet, an apostle, a teacher, an evangelist. Whatever your gift is, may the Lord give us the grace to steward it well, that we will not fall victim to the spirit of Balaam, that spirit that wants you to exchange your gifts for money, to sell your gifts. I pray that the Lord will help us to overcome it, not to give in to it, especially those who are called into ministry. May the Lord help us. I pray that the Lord will help us to move forward, no matter how comfortable the place we are might be. May the Lord give us the grace even to move forward. May He give us the grace to know what to do when we're called into leadership positions. May He give us that gift of wisdom to know what to do to solve a particular issue. May the Lord bless us with that. In the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you all so much for being a part of Word Meal today. It was a great pleasure having you all here tonight. I hope we all got the message which the Lord had for us, and may He give us the grace even to apply His word to our lives. I'll see you all again tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Good night.